Hey guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today's tutorial is going to be the cutting and stitching of this free gown dress with a bell sleeve. This dress was inspired by J Hema on Facebook. Her name is J Hema Wears on Facebook. So I'm going to be recreating the style. If this is something you're interested in, then keep up watching. This is the fabric I'm going to be using. This is called flower chiffon. This is like a think flower chiffon and you can make use of any material of your choice. The first thing I'm going to be doing is to mark a straight line across my pattern paper. This is going to be serving as the shoulder line. So I'm going to place my tape on this shoulder line. I will mark my bust point, which is 10 inches. Still placing the tape, I will mark my half length, which is 16 inches. Then I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across those points. I will place my tape on the shoulder. I will mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches. Then I will place my tape on that point I just marked. I will come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. Then I will mark the wideness of the neckline. So I will just go ahead and mark 3.5 inches. Then I will mark the depth. I will also mark 3.5 inches. The neckline of the front and the back of this dress is going to be the same. Then I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. I will mark the shoulder slope like this. I will place my tape on the shoulder slope. I will mark the roundness of my armhole. So how to get the wideness of your armhole is divide your bust by 6. Whatever you get, add 2 inches to it. Then go ahead and mark it. Okay, this is going to be serving as my chest line. I will go ahead and mark a straight line across like this. Then I'll go ahead and label all the line. This is the shoulder, the chest line, the bust point, and the waistline. I will place my tape on the chest line. I will mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect it to the shoulder like this, okay? Then I'll place my tape on this armhole like this. I will fold my tape into two to get the midpoint. So I'll go ahead and mark it. Then I'll place my tape on that midpoint I just marked. I will go in by half inch. Then I'll place my tape on the chest line. I will divide my bust by 4. I will mark it. So go ahead and divide your bust by 4 and mark it on your chest line. Then I'll go ahead and connect the armhole like this. After connecting it, I will place my tape on the waistline. I will divide my waist by 4. I will mark it. Then I'll go ahead and connect it with my pencil. So I will place my tape on the chest line. I will add 2 inches for joining allowance and ease allowance. So I will just mark 2 inches. I will come to the waistline. I will also add 2 inches, okay? Then I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. Then I'll go ahead and extend the armhole. Then I will connect the down part. After connecting it, I will go ahead and cut it out just like as you can see me doing. So guys, in case you are still watching me and you've not liked this video, please do it to like and comment. So guys, after I was done drafting it, I will just go ahead and cut it out on my fabric. But unfortunately, I am going to be using a different fabric from what I showed you guys earlier. That particular fabric I later discovered is just 2 yards, and this particular one is 2.5 yards. So this one, I'm just going to manage this particular material, but to be on the safer side, I will advise you to buy 3 yards of fabric, okay? As you can see, I went ahead to fold my fabric into 2. Then I went ahead to fold it into 2 again. This is going to be giving me 4 pieces because I'm going to be cutting both the back and the front together. So after I was done folding it, I will go ahead and pin my pattern paper on my fabric. If you check the pattern paper, you are going to see that the center front of the pattern paper is facing the side that is closed on the fabric. After I was done pinning it, I will place my tape on the shoulder. I will measure the full length of my gown. So go ahead and place your tape on your shoulder. Measure where you want your gown to stop, be it above your knee or beneath your knee. Just go ahead and measure where you want yours to stop. So after I was done taking my measurement, I will go ahead and mark a straight line across where I want my gown to stop. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to measure how wide I want the gown to be. So the wideness I have here is about 15 inches. I will just mark it. So for you, make use of 18 inches or 20 inches. So the reason why I mark 15 inches is because my material is not going to be enough for me to cut my sleeve if it's wider than this. So that is why I advise you should buy 3 yards so that it will be enough for you. Then what I'm going to be doing is to mark a slant line from that 15 inches I just marked to the waistline of this dress, okay? Just watch out what I'm doing in case you don't understand what I'm saying. I will place my tape here, this edge here. I will mark half inch upward like this. Then I'll go ahead and mark a slant line like this to meet that half inch. This is to remove that sharp edge at the hemline, okay? So after I was done marking it upward, I'll go ahead and cut it out like this. Then around the armhole, I will add half inch joining allowance. On the shoulder and also the neckline, I will add half inch joining allowance. Then I'll go ahead and remove the pattern paper. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to fold a piece of fabric into two like this and cut the lining for the back and also the lining for the front. So just go ahead and fold a piece of fabric, then place your material on it like this, the front and the back part, just place it on it, then cut it out, okay? You can decide to turn the neckline with buba bias, or you can cut a stripe of your material and turn it like buba bias. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and cut out the sleeve for this gown. So as you can see, my material is folded into four because I'm going to be cutting the two sleeve at the same time. So I went ahead to pin my long sleeve pattern paper on it. I already have a tutorial on the channel on how to draft a basic short and long sleeve. In case you don't know how to draft a sleeve, just go and watch out that video. I'm going to be leaving the link at the description section and also at the card or at the end screen. I will place my tape on the armhole like this. I will add 1 inch like this, okay? Though when I was drafting the pattern for the sleeve, I already added 1.5 inch for joining allowance. This is just me adding extra 1 inch to whatever already added before. Then I'll place my tape on the shoulder. I will measure the full length of this sleeve. So the full length of my sleeve is 23 inches. Then I went ahead to mark 24 inches. I added extra 1 inch for folding allowance. Then I will go ahead and mark a straight line across the point I just marked. I will place my tape on that hemline. I will measure how wide I want the down to be. So I'll just go ahead and measure 11 inches, okay? Then I'll go ahead and connect the point from the hemline to the armhole like this. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out just like as you can see me doing. I will add half inch for joining allowance around the armhole like this. Then please pay attention to this part. I will place my tape like this at this point here. I will measure 4 inches upward. Can you see what I'm doing? I will measure 4 inches upward. I will just go ahead and fold my pattern paper into two like this. Then I'll mark a slant line from that point to the edge. Is it the edge? I don't know, like the edge. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out, okay? So this is going to be for the sleeve. I'll remove the pattern paper. Then I'll go ahead and lining the dress. I will just place the lining on it like this, right side facing each other. Then I will use my pin to secure the neckline. After pinning it down, I will take it to the sewing machine and sew it with half inch. So after I was done sewing it, I will go ahead and top stitch on it as well. After I was done sewing it, I will just go ahead and iron it. So guys, after I was done ironing it, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to join the shoulder of the two together, okay? So you can go ahead and sew it the way you know how to sew it, but for me, I want the shoulder to be neat. So I'll go ahead and open up the shoulder of this one. Then I will go ahead and open up the shoulder of this second one, right side facing each other. Then I will pin the neckline together where I sew, like the part I joined together. I will pin it like this. Then I will take the same machine and sew it like this with half inch. I will do the same thing for the other side. So guys, I'm just sewing it. This is how it look like. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and iron the shoulder. Then I'll iron the other side as well, just to make it very neat. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to turn it to the front. Then I'll go ahead and cut out the excesses around the armhole area. Please be careful so that you will not short yourself, okay? just go ahead and trim out the excesses. Okay, if there's anyone, trim it out. Then I'll go ahead and pin the armhole together like this. Okay, I will take to the sewing machine and stitch it down with 1/4 inch. This is just to secure the material around here. Then I'll do the same thing for the other side. So guys, I'm done stitching it down. What I'm going to be doing next is to go ahead and shaping my dress. So I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch around the chest line. I will come to the waistline. I will also mark 1 inch. So I will just place my tape on the shoulder and mark my half length, which is 60 inches. I just want to be sure of the line. Then after I was done marking 1 inch from the chest line to the waistline, I will place my straight ruler like this and mark a slant line like this. Okay, then I'll go ahead and curve it around the waistline. Just go ahead and mark a slant line. Then I'll go ahead and pin it down from the waistline to the hemline. So guys, I will mark 2 inches downward around the chest line. Okay, so I will take to the same machine and start sewing it from the line I marked down to the hem. Then I'll also do the same thing for this other side. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew it, then I turn it to the front and give it a very good press. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and sew my sleeve on it like this. This is very easy, so just go ahead and notch the middle of your sleeve, then turn your dress to the back, then go ahead and pin it from the middle to one end, then pin the other side. So after I was done pinning it, I will take to the same machine. I will sew it with 1/2 inch. Okay, after I was done sewing it, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and fold the hem of the sleeve. So I'll go ahead and fold it like this, then I'll go ahead and fold it again. I will take it to the sewing machine. I will sew it round. So I will advise you should sew it before attaching the sleeve to the dress. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and finish up sewing the armhole area to the hem of the sleeve. Then once I was done with that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to fold the hem of the dress. I will fold it like this, then fold it again. I will sew it round. So guys, this is the finished part of the dress. This is the best sleeve and this is the down part of the dress. I could not wear it to model it because I need to upload this tutorial today. This is 4:41 already and I'm going to be uploading it today by 5:30. Please do well to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in joining my cutting and sewing tutorials group on WhatsApp, do well to click the link at the description section and also the comment section to join. See you on my next video. Bye. I love you guys. Bye, bye, bye. Yeah.